voters, sir. I want to see what is going on in there. You're not like making me leave. I don't leave. I don't leave. I will never leave. You will never stop me. I'm here to defend democracy, and I want to see what's going on.
Mitt Romney's still about where he was. Newt Gingrich's numbers are beginning to come down just a little bit. And here's why that's important. There were 500 precincts that were out here in Clark County with just 1,000 votes separating Newt Gingrich and Ron Paul for second place. Then there are a lot of precincts, a bunch of precincts at least, where there are disputes. There were more ballots cast than there were people signed up for that precinct. There were more ballots cast than there were people signed up for that precinct.
Because I'm a grandfather taking care of grandkids at 9 o'clock in the morning, all right? And I couldn't get out the door. And it doesn't say that I couldn't vote before 9 or 10:15.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Well, I tell you, when you're trying to build a good Republican base, you're fucking it up by doing this.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Don't thank me for coming. All right? That's just being, spiteful.
Thank you for coming. Goodbye.
Bill 1 Special Caucus. Paul Steinhauser is standing by. I take it it's getting pretty animated where you are, Paul. Tell our viewers what's going on.
What's going on right now? People are allowed to speak for 2 minutes about the candidate they are supporting. We had 6 people. They go by alphabetical order, Wolf. So Gingrich first. We had about 6 people speak for Gingrich, and now we have people speaking for Ron Paul. We've had about 10 people so far speak for Ron Paul. You can hear right now they're asking if there's anybody else that wants to talk about Ron Paul. We've had some animated people here expressing their support for Congressman Paul. A very boisterous crowd right now, Wolf. But it looks like we're done with the Ron Paul people, and I guess Romney will be up next. But it looks like we're done with the Ron Paul people, and I guess Romney will be up next. Wolf? Wolf.
Yeah, well, you know what I want to do, Paul? I want to just listen in a little bit, get a sense, a little flavor of what's going on at this special caucus. This is a Ron Paul supporter, I suspect.
On foreign policy in general, I know.
Yes, first I want to say I'm voting for Ron Paul.
Ron Paul came in, somebody interviewed me, and when they asked if I was a Paul supporter, I said I was, and they said, Nathan, this lady up there.
I would like to speak on behalf of Dr. Ron Paul.
And Ron Paul. Gentleman back and Nathan down here. And then in the back over there.
I think we all know where Ron Paul stands on the fiscal policy.
Here's a Los Angeles Times story where basically a reporter was booted out of a caucus site, which is highly unusual. She works for a newspaper. She's there to make sure things go transparent. The person running the caucus site said no reporters. Basically, they booted her out.
Caucus goers cry foul, saying they were denied their right to vote.
So basically what happened is the GOP held this late night vote, and a lot of Ron Paul supporters showed up. A lot more than they was anticipating.
Every American should have a voice, and I feel that this is an American voice.
And they were trying to figure out how to get rid of the Ron Paul supporters. Is basically what it sounds like to me from all the stories I've read, about 3 or 4 different stories on this.
I'd really like to go in. I'd like to caucus. Organizers and volunteers presented voters with a form, an affidavit to be signed under penalty of perjury.
So they concocted this little litmus test to prove that you were Jewish and you should be allowed to vote in that late night vote. And they was trying to make Ron Paul supporters sign a piece of paper that basically said they were Jewish.
It's asking people to lie. If they don't sign it, they're being turned away?
Yes, because they can't come in if they don't sign it because they're not, that's what they need to do.
Now this is the thing. We all know that in this country you cannot discriminate against people for religion, race.
Ron Paul supporters dominated the session, and this man who was turned away...
I'm going to keep going in there until I get my vote, and, get my vote in.
He eventually found a way inside.
We need more freedoms. We need more liberty.
What the fuck, GOP? You can't do that. Are you crazy? I believe they've just violated every Ron Paul supporter's civil right.
An attorney who showed up to observe the process argued that turning away legal voters is a violation of election laws.
I would imagine that they would be concerned that they would be committing a felony by turning you away.
Some stuff going on in Washoe County. Basically, MSNBC at 8% had 298 votes for Mitt Romney, which is pretty consistent across the board. Everybody was pretty much reporting the same thing. Fox has got him at 298 votes at 8%. And we go over to CNN, and here's where the shenanigans start. And it's very obvious. Washoe County, 3% reporting. That's 5% reporting less than anywhere else. And we already have Mitt Romney at 1,500 votes.
Hey there, this is Mona in Nevada. It is 5:36 p.m. February 4th. It's caucus day. I'm just trying to let you know what I found today. Note the time in which, this is my comment to an article, a falsehood that Yahoo had this morning. You'll notice, placed my comment 4 hours ago. The comment was that Mitt Romney won the caucus, and this was at noon that this article was posted. Let me show you how fraudulent it is. I'm trying to hold the camera still. Look, no matter what time, it never makes like it's been more than an hour that it was put on. Even though you clearly see my comment was 4 hours ago, and it says Mitt Romney that he wins in a quiet Nevada caucus like nobody showed up. But meanwhile, after I read this, I looked around and saw that the caucuses were packed. And that this is fraudulent because they were making like the delegates were already issued out. Yes, here, right here. I hope you can read this. I'm really trying to be still. Nevada awarded its delegates in proportion to the caucus vote totals, meaning that any candidate first of all, it takes a little while for these little liars here to even create an article. And since it was already posted at noon, how could Romney win when there's still 7 hours left of caucus? Excuse me, hey liars, who won in Maine today, huh? Do you happen to know that, since you know everything in advance? Associated Press and Yahoo and David Espo and Casey Hunt? Again, Associated Press and Yahoo. We have You Dead to Rights, Casey Hunt, David Espo, creating falsehoods, rigging elections, making like it's already decided. All four of you culprits need to apologize to the public and apologize to all of the candidates, because to make like Mitt Romney already won and nobody showed up. Hi there. Well, since I put that video on, I was alerted to this Romney Eyes Win in Quiet Nevada caucus timeline. Look at this one, 3 days ago. Okay, this is 1 day ago. Look at today's date, February 5th, 6:54 p.m. 3 days ago. Oh, on Thursday. Hello, Thursday. February 2nd, 2012. Well, let me tell you, if you Google Romney Eyes Win in Quiet Nevada caucus, you're going to have a million posts come up because every single news agency on the planet has that as their title. But look at this when it was posted. Bull crap, this is shenanigans if I ever saw it. Oh my God. They're really, really, really trying to keep Dr. Paul out of office. He must really scare the crap out of him, huh? Because let me tell you, in Nevada, he rules. I was at the rally. He is worshipped. We love him. He's the only one who tells us the truth and tells us the truth about the FDA suppressing cures. This is bullcrap.
Mitt Romney, Newt Gingrich, Ron Paul, Mitt Romney, Ron Paul, Newt Gingrich, Ron Paul, Mitt Romney, Ron Paul, Newt Gingrich, Ron Paul, Mitt Romney.
Back to our, thanks again, Goldie. We're going to go back to our Paul Steinhauser, who is getting some results from that caucus now, finally. And once they believe in this count is over, then we'll get all the final votes in Clark County, 100%, and we can report them. Go ahead, Paul Steinhauser.
Don, it is finally over. It took 2.5 hours, and I'm hearing myself in my ear, so I'm going to take my IFB out. But here's what happened, Don. Here's the final count. 183 for Ron Paul, 61 for Mitt Romney, 57 for Newt Gingrich, and 16 for Rick Santorum. 183 for Ron Paul, 61 for Mitt Romney, 57 for Newt Gingrich, and 16 for Rick Santorum. Behind me right now, these are Republican Party officials from Clark County. You can see the votes are right over there, right above those boxes. They're going to take them downtown to the party HQ, and they're going to be added to the county totals, and then, of course, they'll be added to the totals for the state. And thank you. Now I'm good with my ear. Donna, this is one crazy caucus. As you know, the backstory here, this was for Orthodox Jews, Seventh-day Adventists, and others who could not take part in the caucuses throughout Clark County earlier in the day because of the Sabbath. They had to wait till the sundown. It was quite a time. It started late because of the crowds coming in, and it's finally over 2.5 hours later, Don.
All right, Paul Steinhauser, thank you very much.